right, ladies and gentlemen of the 118 scale, 3.75 inch, 4-inch modern action figure community, I'm back again with another video. And in this video, we're going to be discussing the character that we've come to know and love as Dice. So released in about 1992, there was a faction of both G.I. Joe and Cobra that was known as Ninja Force. The Ninja Force was a group of ninjas from both sides that battled each other. And needless to say, back in the 90s era, there was a lot of neon colors and a lot of weird, bright coloring that took away from the overall military style theme of G.I. Joe. A lot of people didn't like that. It depends on what side of the fence you're on when it comes to this situation. I personally had a lot of figures from that era that I liked. We detailed Toxo Vipers in the last video, which were some figures that I really liked, but they were of those bright colors. Slice and Dice were really cool characters, and they weren't as crazily colored as some of the others. It depends on how you feel about those two characters. I personally love the duo, and this video right here is going to be about the character Dice. So, without further ado, I would love for you guys to join me in creating a custom Dice figure. And the reason I'm creating a custom Dice figure is because in about 2014, in the action figure subscription service of G.I. Joe, they released a Dice figure. If you were not on that mailing list, you didn't get a figure, and I don't think these figures came out to the store, but they did end up coming out by third-party sellers. And if you were looking for this figure in any of the past years up until now, then you know he's very difficult to get your hands on. He's very expensive. So what I did was I went to Marauders and I picked up some parts here. So with these parts, I'm going to create my own version of Dice. So I wanted to start out with this purple body here. Pretty plain Jane, just purple and black. I really think it's cool, and I think this is what I need to create my figure here. Let's go ahead and stand them up right there. So now we got a little bit of equipment that I'm going to tag onto him, and let's see how it comes together. So my next move was to give him a harness, so to speak. So I'm wondering if I'm going to do a purple knife in a black sheath or a purple sheath and black knife. So I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll play around with it and see what works. All right. So far, I've been working on his ammo. So this is what I come up with for his harness here. Got two purple knives in the front. Got two ninja swords in the back. And these ninja swords came from, I'll put the picture right here, but I have a few of the 30th anniversary Snake Eyes figures. That's the one with the harness under the bottom with the little weird strap thing going on. But yeah, that's what I'm using here. Those two knives, they fit nicely with a little force. Or, like I always say, boil some water and dip this stuff down in there, and it should slip on perfectly. Me, I kind of muscled it in there today, but you see it's working. Awesome. We got two nice swords back there for him. So I'm going to keep building, and I'll show you what I have here in the next few seconds. So far, I got this going on. I put some pouches on. Put a pouch right here, pouch right there, pouch right there. Nothing right there so far. I got his two knives. I decided to go with the black and the purple. And I got his two swords back there. So if you remember the original line of Ninja Force figures, they were all very, very gimmicky. They had all these weird strike and attack moves. Like some of them had spring-loaded hands, some of them had spring-loaded waist, spring-loaded legs, and that created a lot of hindrance for the figure, right? So I'm glad that that the modern era Ninja Force figures did not continue in that path and try to recreate the figures with those moves, because trust me, those gimmicky moves are out there. They're they're definitely out there, and they can be fashioned into modern form figures. Here's an example. So this figure here is a modern Storm Shadow figure, and I believe he's from the 30th anniversary. He could be 30th or Pursuit of Cobra. I'm not sure which one. I'm not sure, so I'm not going to guess. But anyway, he's a figure that was created with one of those gimmicks like we saw back in the days. So if you press this button right here, he does kind of like a kick. But see, with this thing being here, it hinders his leg from going up. So let's see. Yay. Very gimmicky. Ironically, that gimmick is not like the old school retro. I can't say retro anymore because that's a whole different line. But the old school action figures from the 90s, it actually hindered how they moved. It actually hindered whether they had backpacks or screw holes so you can change out O-rings or anything. So that was kind of lame. I'm glad they didn't continue down that path with the modern Ninja Force figures. So now moving right along, I have this axe that I acquired from Marauders Task Force website. I have either this one, or we can go with a gray one. I'm really not sure which one I want to use, and I also don't know where I'm going to mount it to, because he's starting to have a lot of equipment, and I want it to look realistic. I don't want him to look bogged down with equipment. So I'll keep these in mind for a little bit later in the video, and I'll be back. All right, so here is the 95% completed version of Dice, custom of course, and I hope you like it so far. So let's get a look at them. I decided to go with this head sculpt. I was kind of dancing around whether I wanted to use a balaclava or I wanted to use a different head sculpt, but I end up finding this, and this is why I like to keep head sculpts all the time. This head sculpt was included in the Most Wanted Pack 2, and I did a video on that a few weeks back, so you can go back and look at that video if you're kind of questioning or wondering what I'm talking about. So that was cool. This was in there, and I think this is like the only place I'm going to be able to use this head sculpt, and it worked out fine, because if you remember, the original Dice character has this mask with like spikes coming down, but if you look at it, under his mask he has something like this and is tied in the back. So he actually, in a sense, looks just like Dice, and I'll put a picture right here. I also realized that in my collection, I had extras of these, this weapon right here. I don't know what it's called, but the Modern Figures subscription service Dice is packaged with this, I believe. So that's pretty cool that I have that, and I can use that on this figure here. On his back, he has two swords. He has his two knives in the front. I use this hood from the Marauders website. It usually comes with a mask that covers his face right here. I end up cutting that off so that I can reveal the rest of that face. Also, the reason why I said it's 95% done is the only thing I want to do here is I want to get rid of these purple boots and these purple gloves and all black on that. And I think I'll be somewhat done. And I also want to find out what I want to do with these axes. I just don't know. I'm drawing a blank on what to do with them right now. You got any suggestions? Put them down below. I'll read them, and if they work out for me, then I'll possibly use them. Now, before we leave, I want to get into a little bit of backstory of the Dice figure. So Dice was a member of the Cobra Night Creepers. Apparently, the way it reads is that he was way too evil to be a part of that organization, so they kicked him out. Another excerpt that I read from yojo.com, I believe it is, says that he may have tried to steal a jeweled dagger from the Night Creeper leader, which caused him to be ousted from that faction. It also says that he is, I think I said this, but he's too evil. And so once he left the Night Creepers, he started to do mercenary work. And he ended up getting with his good friend and partner in crime, Slice. So now you can see Slice and Dice doing everything together and running and creating all kind of havoc. But it does go on to say that even though he loves running with his homie Slice, he still takes a lot of contract jobs and does a lot of mercenary work on his own. So I'm going to put the file card here so that you can read it. I don't have it physically, but I'll include it here. So I think I'm going to end this video right here. I hope you like the custom dice figure. And if anything, you got any comments or any questions, just feel free to put them down below. I'll get to them at my earliest convenience. Thanks for watching this video. I appreciate all of your time and coming to hang out with me while I do these crazy videos. And, I'm going to be here making these videos. So I appreciate you all. Thanks. Peace.